Hey guys, welcome back to another EDH video. Today's video we got something a little different. It's an EDH deck tech because I be playing Veyran a lot because it's one of my favorite decks, and I figured why not share my Veyran deck tech with you guys because I think it's a cool deck and it's very red blue and what I like to do in red blue. So first up we got Veyran, Voice of Duality. It's one generic and is it for a legendary creature Ifrit wizard. Has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, Veyran Voice of Duality gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Then it has this awesome thing, which is basically spells Harmonicon, which is like if casting or copying an instant or sorcery spell causes the triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that trigger happens an additional time. So it's pretty broken with things like Thousand Year Storm, Swarm Intelligence, Double Vision, stuff like that. Just my first thing that comes to mind is like extra turn spells. Like imagine you have like a Thousand Year Storm with this out. You've casted like 2 cantrips before it. You get 4 copies of an extra turn spell because the Veyran triggers the Thousand Year Storm twice. It's kind of broken. It's pretty good. I really love this deck. It's like one of my favorite decks ever. Some cantrips we're going to be running. We're going to have Ponder, Serum Visions, and Preordain, which are going to let us pretty much draw a card or scry. Ponder is going to let us look at the top 3 and shuffle if we want to draw a card. Brainstorm, we got Brainstorm. It's just basically let us draw a card, put 2 back on top. Get Probe, and Cerulean Wisp is actually has a combo in this deck with a newer card. Next up, we got Opt, which is a scry 1 and draw a card. We got Frantic Search, which is not like a 1-mana cantrip, but it's pretty good to copy because you can draw 2 and discard 2 and untap 3 lands, which is pretty good. Next up, we got ways to copy our stuff. We got Bonus Round, Reverberate, and Twin Cast, which Reverberate and Twin Cast are basically like Fork, like old Fork. And Bonus Round lets us copy everything. Next up, we got Double Visions, which is really good. Dual Caster Mage, which is also has a combo, and then Krark the Thumbless, which gets really confusing with Veyran, but it's fine. Then so we got Narset's Reversal, which is basically, it can actually kind of counter a spell as well. And then we got Swarm Intelligence, and we got Thousand Year Storm, which is absolutely insane. Then we have Arcane Bombardment, which is, I think, a newer card from like New Capenna or something like that. And we have Primal Amulet, and then we have Primal Wellspring, which is what Primal Amulet flips into. Next up, we have stuff that triggers whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell. We got Urbrask, Stormkill Artisan, and Archmage Imperatus. Both broken cards, by the way. And next up, we got Malik Izzet Paragon. And we have Ral Storm Conduit, which also has a combo in the deck. And we have Niv Mizzet Perun, which is really expensive, but it's fine. Next up, we have Stella Lee, which is the combo that goes with Cerulean Wisps. And then we have Burgi and Gutter Snipe, which Burgi makes us a bunch of mana, and Gutter Snipe just pings our opponents for a bunch. Next up, we got ways to make a bunch of mana. We got Mana Geyser, we have Seething Song, and we have Brass's Bounty, which if you can copy any of those, you're just going to have so much mana, you're not going to know what to do with it. So we got High Tide, which is just going to allow us to make our islands tap for a bunch. Then we have Jessica's Will, which is one of the best red cards ever made, so we got to have it in here. If we can copy it a bunch, it's going to be insane. Next up, we got a bunch of ways to use the mana we're making. We got Mizzet's Mastery, which is just going to allow us to play our stuff from the graveyard. We have Explosion Expansion, which is just another X-Spell. Electro Dominance, which is going to allow us to pump a bunch of mana into the Electro Dominance and play a card for free. And just kill all our opponents that way. Next up, we got extra turn spells. We got Capture of Jing Zhao, and we have Time Stretch and Time Warp. Time Warp and Capture of Jing Zhao just takes 1 extra turn. Time Stretch takes 2. Next up, we got ways to protect our stuff. We got Force of Will, Swan Song, and Fierce Guardianship, which are all just counter spells pretty much, except for Force of Will, it counters anything. Next up, we got Mana Drain and Counterspell and Deflecting Swat. Just regular old counter spells that can protect our stuff. Deflecting Swat, obviously, just a good red card to have. Next up, we got Arcane Denial and Rewind. Rewind is kind of like a 4-mana thing, but since we have a lot of instants, I feel like we can use it if something needs to be countered. Next up, we got Goblin, Electromancer, Rowan, and Will, which are ways to make our instant sorcery costs less to cast, pretty much. Next up, we got ways to search for our stuff that we want to cast. We got Gamble, Personal Tutor, and Invent and Invert. Invent actually lets us search for an instant and a sorcerer's card. Next up, we got Mystical Tutor, which is just stereotypical, old tutor that's really good. Obviously, got to have it in here. Next up, we got some ways to deal with our opponent's stuff. We got Vandal Blast, which is just kind of destroy a artifact or all of them. We have Cyclonic Rift, is the best mono blue board weapon. We have Blasphemous Act. Next we got stuff to ramp. We got Soul Ring, Talisman Creativity, and a Mind Stone. Mind Stone's just kind of bad, but I threw it in there anyways. Then we have Lotus Petal and Arcane Signet. Lotus Petal for those crisp turn 2 Veyrans, because why not? Next up, we got the land base. We got Shivan Reef, Sulphur Falls, Temple of Epiphany, Scolding Tarn, Steam Vents, Mystic Sanctuary, which is going to allow us to return a instant to the top of our library. And then we have a Lava Glide pathway, and the other side is the blue pathway. We have Command Tower, Reliquary Tower, Arid Mesa, and Cascade Bluffs. Obviously, a lot of the expensive ones you can just swap out with the basics if you are on a budget or whatever. But I'm not on a budget, so I just buy all the expensive stuff. More lands, we got Frostbolt Snarl, Exotic Orchard, Volcanic Island, and then we have 10 mountains and 10 islands, which is, Volcanic Island you can obviously replace with another basic. Then we have the combos. We have Twin Flame and Dual Caster Mage, which is just going to allow us to get infinite Dual Caster Mage. So we have Stellar Lee, which is going to allow us to draw our entire library. Then we have Raw Storm Conduit with either Twin Cast, Reverberate, or the expansion, which is basically going to allow us to ping all of our opponents for a bunch of damage, and for infinite pretty much. Choose a number 1 billion, because basically what you're going to do, you're going to -2 Raw Storm Conduit, and then you're going to cast one of those things, and they just copy over and over again, and Raw decides, hey, let's do 1 damage to all of our opponents. The Stellar League combo obviously works. You got to cast 3 spells before you cast the Cerulean Wisps, and you just tap, untap, tap, untap, and just keep copying the Cerulean Wisp over and over, and just draw your entire library. And at that point, you can pretty much win. Dual Caster Mage, I think everybody's seen that. It's pretty lame, honestly, but might as well just throw it in there anyways, because they both kind of synergize with what we're trying to do. Like, even if we're not trying to just combo off with that, we can just Twin Flame a Archmage Emeritus and draw a bunch of cards that way by casting, So I think they all kind of synergize pretty well. If you guys want to see this deck be played, I actually have a lot of videos of it on the channel. I'll link some of them down in the description. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck tech. If you guys want to see more, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. If you like the format of the deck tech, I know I kind of just ran through it really fast. I don't like to watch people for 45 minutes sit there and try to build a deck. I like to just look at the cards, because I know a lot of what most cards do. So I think this is it's more for experienced people, not people that are new to Magic. So, but yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, comment down below, all that good stuff. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.